You know that feeling when the temperature starts to plummet? Well, guess what else drops? Your car's efficiency. But what if I told you that some of those classic winter driving habits we all have are actually costing us money and maybe even hurting our cars? Today, we're going to separate the cold, hard facts from the fiction. So let me ask you this. When it's absolutely freezing outside, what's the very first thing you do with your car? If your answer is, oh, I let it run in the driveway for 10 minutes, well, you might be throwing more than just time right out the window. Let's dig in and find out why. And look, we're not just going off old advice that's been passed down for generations. Nope. Today, we're diving straight into the data to see how you can drive smarter, safer, and way more economically this winter. All right, first up, we are tackling the biggest culprit of wasted fuel in the winter. It's a habit so common, so automatic, you probably don't even think twice about it. I'm talking, of course, about the great idling myth. Come on, we've all heard this one, and let's be honest, we've all probably done it. The thinking is that letting your car sit there and idle warms up the engine, which is supposed to be better for it on a cold day. But see, that advice is a total leftover from the era of old-school carbureted engines. Modern cars with fuel injection, they just don't need it. In fact, it's actually not that great for them. Our source material really puts it perfectly. It's not actually getting your car ready for the road. It's just burning fuel for no reason. So what does that waste actually look like when you break it down into numbers? Get this, in just 10 minutes of idling on a cold morning, your car can burn through half a liter of fuel. Now, stop and think about that. If you do this every weekday for a few months, that is a ton of fuel just gone. It's literally like pouring money right out of your exhaust pipe every single morning. And it's not just about the money you're losing at the pump. That same 10-minute idle pumps out as much as 1,200 grams of CO2 into the air. That is a lot of unnecessary pollution, all while your car is just sitting there. And this slide, it says it all. All that fuel burned, all those emissions created, and you have traveled exactly 0 kilometers. You've gone absolutely nowhere. So what's the better way to do this? Because there is a better way. So let's look at a smarter, much more efficient warm-up routine. It is time to officially retire that outdated idling habit and bring in a modern, effective strategy. Okay, here is your new 3-step game plan. First, if you've got a block heater, use it. Put it on a timer for about 2 hours before you need to leave. That'll pre-warm the engine super efficiently. Second, start your car, but only let it idle for 2 to 3 minutes tops, just enough to get the fluids circulating. Then, step 3, start driving, but take it easy at first. And here is the absolute key. Idling only warms up the engine. That's it. But gentle driving, that warms up everything else. The transmission, the steering, the suspension, your tires, the whole system gets ready for the road, not just one part of it. It is by far the most effective way to warm up. Okay, myth number 1 is officially busted. But there's another hidden fuel waster lurking out there in the cold that most of us totally overlook. And this one is all about your tires. So here's the next myth. As long as that little tire pressure light on the dashboard isn't on, we're good to go, right? Wrong. That light often only kicks on when your tire pressure is already dangerously low, long after it started costing you money. You see, for every big drop in temperature outside, your tire pressure drops too. And it doesn't take much. A drop of just 56 kilopascals, that's about 8 psi for those of us not using the metric system, is enough to cause some pretty significant problems. It might not sound like a lot, but the impact is huge. So what's the real cost? Well, this chart spells it out pretty clearly. Running on underinflated tires can spike your fuel consumption by up to 4%. Ouch. On top of that, it dramatically shortens the life of your tires, so you're paying more at the pump, and you'll be buying new tires sooner. It's a lose-lose. Let's put a hard number on that shorter lifespan. We are talking about losing more than 10,000 kilometers from the life of your tires. That is a massive financial hit, all because of a little bit of air. This is exactly why checking your tires with a pressure gauge once a month is one of the smartest things you can do. So we've busted the myths. We've looked at the data. Now let's put it all together and go over the new rules for smart, efficient winter driving. Here is your takeaway checklist. It is super simple. First, check your tire pressure at least once a month. Second, if you have a block heater, use it on a timer for 2 hours before you go. Third, slash your idling time down to just 2 or 3 minutes. And finally, warm up the whole car by driving moderately. It's really that simple. Following these simple steps will save you fuel, cut down on emissions, and help extend the life of your vehicle. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other driving rules that we all just take for granted are really just myths waiting to be debunked? Thanks for tuning in.